Good morning, Oklahoma, and welcome to Cow-Calf Corner. This week's topic is the steps to assisting that heifer or cow that we have determined needs help in the calving process. Last week we reviewed the 3 stages of parturition, and you can refer back to that one as far as timelines in stage 2 that we can use as a rule of thumb relative to when we should offer assistance. This week we address more. We know that we need to provide some help. So how do we go about it to make this constructive, positive, and lead to a good outcome? In a perfect world, we'd have a sheltered, well-lit barn. We'd have a head catch, a halter, some sort of restraint for the cow. We're going to have 2 buckets of warm water. We're going to have one with some disinfectant in it we're actually going to be carrying our OB chains and our handle in. Then we're going to have another one here that we're going to use along with some soap to actually clean up that cow and heifer, as well as our hands and arms before we start the examination process. We're going to need to have some OB lube, some OB sleeves, something that facilitates this process as much as possible. And we may be short of any of those things when the moment comes to bear that we need to start the examination of the process. But in a perfect world, we'd like to have all those things, and cleanliness is extremely important. There are times we may provide assistance and save the calf if we introduce too much bacteria into that reproductive tract. We suffer the long-term consequence of slowing down rebreeding or potentially delayed or a cow never getting bred back at all. So we'd like to have that set of equipment on hand and have it at our disposal. At the point we start the examination, if we've got that sleeve and we've got some lube, we're going to go through and do a pelvic examination. First thing we want to look for is to confirm that this heifer or cow has got a fully dilated cervix. And as we reach in to try to feel the front feet and the head of that calf, if we pass through and really don't encounter anything, it's a good sign that we've got full dilation there and that the cow is actually ready for that calf delivery. If we encounter a little more there along the way, it can be a sign that maybe more time needs to be given. And if we can feel front feet, if we can feel the head of that calf just behind those front feet, and the head of that calf is basically up against the vertebrae or the spine of that cow, we know we're dealing with a normal presentation. That is a good sign that we can move forward in this process and attempt to help or potentially pull that calf. If we've got an abnormal presentation, if those aren't the things we're feeling, a front leg back, a head back, potentially we're feeling rear legs or a tail, if we've got something abnormal, it increases the likelihood we're going to have to get some professional assistance. And another thing that we want to have on hand or in our phone that's in our pocket is the phone number of our veterinarian that we've got a good working relationship with. Because abnormal presentations, or if we encounter a fetus that we're certain it is too big to actually get delivered, we're going to likely need to contact our veterinarian and get some assistance in that case. So let's say we got a normal presentation, we've determined we got a fully dilated heifer or cow, and we've got enough space in here to actually get this calf out. We proceed to hooking up OB chains. We're going to try to pull with this with our handles initially. If we have to resort to a calf jack, we want to be careful. We want to be gentle all the way through this process. Again, getting carried away with a calf puller can lead to some injury for the cow and the calf. We refer to some excellent sources of material that can go into more detail as far as ways to go about getting that calf out. So I hope this helps. Things to think about relative to the equipment we want on hand and those actually steps in the process as we start that examination and potentially move forward with helping or assisting pull or deliver that calf and getting it out alive. Thanks for joining us on Cow-Calf Corner.